All right, let's keep going. We're going to use these pens. These are fun. Are they permanent? They are. So these are permanent and this is permanent. So they could blend each other out. If I'm using a pen that's water-based and I put an alcohol marker on top, then it will, it'll come right through. All right, let's have some fun. So this is a person who's carrying a very heavy weight. It's pretty even. Okay, so it doesn't look like it's really that heavy. Let's make it really heavy. So again, if we have a straight line, you want to go off that line. So this is carrying the weight. So this would be what's called the motivator right there. Okay, and that's going to come down because it's being dragged. Now, the weight is here, so let's get that head over the weight. So that's another thing. The nose knows where the weight is. We got that. It's in the videos. But I want to get this going. Now, generally, you're balancing yourself off, so we'll put a rib cage out that way. And we'll put the pelvis that way. Okay. Now, this leg is going forward. Let's get that foot under that weight. So we got that. So you notice how I'm just kind of scribbling? Now, one of the things they talked about was, an old friend of mine, his name is Eric Goldberg, and they brought up Eric a lot. It was amazing how Eric was the flavor of the month for these guys, which was well-deserved. I mean, Eric's fantastic. But I've known Eric for 40 years. I met him when I was 19. Is he great? Yeah. Was he great then? Yeah, he's great. Nice guy. I was at a party and we were talking. He says, I see a lot of your students, Sheldon. I said, yeah, I know. He goes, I said, they don't think we know each other. And he laughed. But I don't call him or anything. So we were going to balance this out, you see. So what do we have now? We got a straight with an S shape. See, this is design. Beautiful waves going like this. Getting this foot under this big weight that he's carrying. See that? Okay, so they talk a lot about how Eric just draws it. Well, I've got some Eric drawings right here on my wall. He gave, we did years ago. And how he just, puts it down. Like he's not thinking, he just goes right to the finished drawing. There are certain people who can do this in their mind. Okay, so that's what they're talking about. Is it the same process? Yes, absolutely. It is absolutely the same process. You just do it in your mind. So if you're one of those, lucky people like Eric or Leonard or people like that, or Dan Haskett, or, Eric, or, people like that, then yeah, go for it, But it's equally as fine to go in there and just, work this out with different colors and continue to push and change stories. So if you think of this as a wire, and what you're doing is you're pushing these wires, you can bend wire. You can bend wire all day. And it doesn't change anything. So if you're going to sculpt, you're bending wire until you get the pose that you want, and then you put the clay on top. Well, this is the same thing. See? So, he's probably looking, this guy's probably looking up. Okay, so we got that. Now let's go in there and do the finish. So why not, spend as much time as you want in this stage, and then go back and, do the finish. And that finish could be anything. It could be done with a paintbrush. You can go right to finished painting. So from here, you can go to a finished illustration. From here, you can do photorealism, because this is the, this is the story. I like to use a ponytail now. I'm in the ponytail stage where all my models have ponytails. The reason why it tells the direction of the head. Pushes it. C7. Now we're getting into anatomy. Scapula. Deltoid. Latissimus dorsi. So they talked a lot about Eric, and that's the thing. That's the thing here. So I'm going to put a straight line because I really want to show that weight. And then I'll put, so against this straight, I'll put some curves on that side. That's the anatomy. Yeah, so Eric kind of sees it and then he puts it down. But you'll find that even with those people, they'll put down a little wisp and then they'll draw from that. They mentioned Leonard, who's a really, really, really good friend of mine. We've been friends for 40 years. We still are very good friends. COVID's kind of messing things up a little bit because, we can't get together, but we usually have coffee. And Leonard's the best. He's just one of the best animators in the world. Leonard will put a wisp down, get it, just real simple, and then put the drawing right over it. So they talked about that. And so that's cool. Glenn Villepeu will work it out like this, and then he'll go ahead and do the finish. Now here's the sacrum, so it's going to go like that. So I'm really going to push it. Now that's a motivator, so I'll put this line coming out there to accentuate the motivator. And then this will go towards me, and this will go away. So you see how the cross contour is helping. So they talked about that. It was really cool. I mean, I was enjoying it. I wasn't live. I think it was yesterday, but it was just so fun. And but one of the things that they talked about a lot was the price of art schools. I don't know. It's hard to say. You got to have the degree. I don't have a degree, and I work. I'm working all the time. And I work with people who have big degrees, doctorates. The guy I'm going to start working with a PhD. But I think I've had to work harder because I don't have the degree. I've had to push myself harder. And, even with that, there's still things that, I don't do. Even though I taught college, I would never be a full professor, but I don't think I'd want to be. I want to be an adjunct. That's the best job. So I don't think I'd want to be a full professor. In the forensics world, they're trying to, even though I could testify, I have enough experience. My friends are saying don't, because, an attorney will tear you apart. Why don't you have a degree? Even though I teach it, I'm teaching forensics. So I don't know, something to sit down with your family and really give it some thought. But in the words of the guys today, do you need the degree to make it in the art world? No. Just the portfolio. So at my school, I think I work the kids harder. Now, we're mostly a college prep school, and that's why. I have to be careful because we're getting the kids ready for college. But we try to find the school that works best for the student. I'll drink some coffee here. We try to get the kids to the right school, which is really important to my wife and I. My wife's brilliant. She's really good at guiding the kids. Sometimes the students have this school they want to go to, and we're like, no, but they want to go, and we can't fight them. Most of our kids go to Ringling. It's just a great school. Let's see. But mostly what we do is, we're college prep. We're guiding the kids to colleges. So obviously we're for college. All my kids went to college. But if the students decide not to go to college, then I beat the crap out of them and work them hard. I work the kids that are going to college really hard too, because I want them to walk into college with a benefit. So officially, I'm tough on all the kids. Whether they hate me for it, I don't know. Maybe they do, but I know that they're getting education. But I'm tough on them. But that's something I think you want to keep researching and, here they were talking right there. So, all right, see the difference? That's the pose, that's the drawing. So if you're rotoscoping, there's a school out there, and I was very familiar with them. I spent 24 years there, and I was watching some of the animation stuff, and it was Rotoscope. They're just copying photos, they're just copying video, and I'm like, I asked them, why are you doing that? And they said, well, that's what we're told to do. And I said, it's Rotoscope. Rotoscope's not animation. So if you're just copying this, you're not animating, you're just copying this. This is just for reference. This is just to study. This is just for knowledge. Then you have to change it to be a story. So big difference. All right, I'm just going to keep drawing, but I'm pretty much done with talking about those videos. So in review, one of the things was carrying the sketchbook. One of them said they had a hard time. I was a little disappointed because I was one of the drawing teachers for this guy, but he said he has a hard time carrying the sketchbook because its drawings are there for life and they're permanent. No, they're not. It's a sketchbook, and I carry at any given time I have with me 3 sketchbooks. That's in my bag. So in my bag that I carry, like my purse, I have 3 sketchbooks. When I go to my school, with all the bags, there's probably about 7 sketchbooks. And then on my shelf behind me, the sketchbooks I'm in right now, currently drawing in, is over 30. So there's over 30 sketchbooks that are currently drawn in. That means I just, every day, just grab a different one. I brought in well over a dozen finished sketchbooks and put them on one of the desks in the school for the students to go through. So there might be over 12 or 13. That's just current finished sketchbooks that I had on the shelf. And then there's books shoved everywhere in the house, upstairs in the attic and stuff, and other books. Drawings, hundreds. There's hundreds of portfolio drawings that I have, if not thousands, that are just shoved on shelves. And then the sketchbooks that are waiting, like I just got this one for my birthday. This is from my wife. It's just beautiful. It's ready to be painted in. And my daughter just got me one. It's at her house, and it's like vintage from the Renaissance. I can't wait to touch it. And then I have this sketchbook that's gorgeous, was given to me by my wife for anniversary. And this book I carry with me. This is one of the ones I carry all the time. And so probably books that are waiting to be drawn in are probably dozens more. And then the refills, I have refills from Italy that are just waiting to be painted in to finish the other ones. So probably 30 current sketchbooks. So do I care if there's a bad drawing in there? No, they're supposed to be. So on your sketchbook, somewhere write, bad drawings welcome here, and that's where you get them. But if you're worried about it and you're afraid that someone's going to see that drawing and destroy your career from it, then just draw on blank pieces of paper and throw them away. It doesn't matter. Okay, so hopefully that answers all those questions, and that's pretty much it. And then as far as the art schools, if you have that kind of money, I don't know, go to medical school. There's some stuff that's being discussed now about doing it with kind of pieces. Like you would go to my school and get all your fundamentals. We're solid. I teach on new masters, and the owner told me, he goes, your school's the top in fundamentals. For, the middle school, high school, prep school, he goes, you're really solid. And I really appreciated the compliment. I think new masters is most likely the best for the adults and for the pros, because they got everybody there, and I'm proud to be part of it. But maybe for digital, you take a class at Noman, and then maybe you go to Concept Academy and take some concept classes, and and you kind of mix it up, but you don't leave with a piece of paper, you don't leave with a degree, and that's a big issue. So you can see where I'm torn with it. Plus, I've spent over 30 years of my life over 40 years teaching, but over 30 accumulated years teaching at universities. So I'm a big fan of universities. And as far as SJSU, I'm a Spartan. I mean, now I didn't say shrunken head man. I said Spartan. I am a Spartan. San Jose State all the way. And I think that's one of the best schools in the country. So I walk on that campus. I'm not there anymore, but when I would walk on that campus, I would just be in awe of the institution of the school. Your art departments are going to go up and down. They're going to change, and that's the issue. So I think that's it. I'm done, but that answered a lot of it. So let's just go ahead and do a bunch of drawings from this Muybridge.